It's October 30th, 2024. I'm Todd Dunn. Today I'm in Bass Harbor. It's kind of a dreary, overcast day. There's the look out the windshield as I turn here. It's a little bit of sort of mist coming down, so it is not a great day for doing one of my location videos. So what I want to do today is look at a little bit of affordable housing here in Bass Harbor. Now, here is one place. This house is currently for sale. I think it's about 600 to 800 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, built in 1910. And I think they're asking about $460. It is near the water. It's across the street from the water, but there are houses on the other side, so not so much that you can see there. And the spot it's across from dries out completely at low tide, so there's only water there half the time. Anyway, so that's kind of the low end of homes for sale here in Bass Harbor. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of a drive around. I'm gonna go over into Southwest Harbor because the other homes that are for sale here in Bass Harbor are well off the road on private side streets, so I don't want to drive up there. And I believe the price range for the other homes here is in the $850 to $1.2 million range, so quite a bit more expensive. But other than that, there is not a lot for sale. And many homes here are seasonal rentals. One thing about Bass Harbor is that in the 2020 census, they determined how many homes were vacant at the time of the census, which was in the spring, and it was 50%. So half of the homes here were vacant. And the reason for that is pretty simple. The vacant homes are a mix of summer homes and weekly rentals. As far as I know, except for the one low-income housing apartment complex, there are no rental properties in Bass Harbor. There's some deer in the road, 4 of them right there. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 3 more over there. So quite the herd of deer right here. Hopefully they'll move. And the next thing I'm probably going to do is run into a flock of wild turkeys. Although they're about due to go into hiding for a while. There's something about late November that tends to make them feel skittish. Although there is no hunting of any kind allowed here on the island, so they're completely safe. Unless there are scofflaws who are willing to violate the no hunting laws. So anyway, we're going to go up here and head over to Southwest Harbor. We're going over past Manset, and I'm coming up to Acadia National Park, so I'm going to stop and pick it up when we leave. Alrighty, we just left Acadia National Park. We're going to drive along. We're in Southwest Harbor now, in the Manset area, and I did just see 2 more deer, so I'm up to a dozen so far on this drive. And there's a spot up here where I expect to see yet more. There's one house up here where I think they actually feed them, and there are often 8 or 10 deer there in their yard, so we'll see when we get up here. It's right up here across from Charlotte's Lobster Pound. Okay, here's one more, and some turkeys over there, and another deer there, and another, oh, half a dozen deer over there. So yeah, we're up to pretty close to 20 deer and maybe half a dozen turkeys. So definitely a typical fall drive here. And this stretch right here is also often populated by deer. There are some spots where there are woods on both sides of the road, and they like to run across the road. We're going to see a couple of other homes up here that if they were for sale, they're not right now, would be considered affordable. And I'll show them to you when we go past them. I will note that these homes that I'm going to show you are not currently for sale. There are a couple homes on the right-hand side of the road here, which have land to go down to the ocean. There are another 5 deer behind this house we just went by. You probably couldn't see them. So that's got us up to about 25. And this is one of the homes that would be affordable if it was for sale. I believe somebody's in a hurry. Redfin thinks that house is worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000, but it might be worth considerably more than that. Homes in this part of town are very expensive. Here's another one that might be affordable if it was for sale. It doesn't have power or anything like that connected to it, and on a pretty small lot. I looked it up the other day, and it's not very big. And there's at least one more up here that I'll show you that probably would be affordable, although it might not be that cheap. I think Redfin estimated that this one that I'm going to show you next is worth, oh, about $500,000. And I think that's largely because it has a pretty big lot. And it's not very far up here. Have to get to the spot where it is. And now we're getting quite a bit closer to the main part of Southwest Harbor, and it's this fairly large White House here. They think that's worth about $500,000, and that would be probably one of the cheapest homes in Southwest Harbor at that price. There are very few homes for sale here at under $500,000, and right here in Mansett there are a number of homes where they're asking substantially more than that. As a matter of fact, I will go down and show you one that depending on your financial situation might be affordable, but probably isn't. And we'll come down here. We're going down to Shore Road, right on the shore of Southwest Harbor. And we'll go past this house. Matter of fact, I'm going to go up here, turn around so it's on the side of the truck where I can actually shoot video of it. But here's the harbor. It's looking pretty empty since the last time I was here. Still a bunch of boats out by Hinckley, mostly jet boats. Be able to see them better as we get up here a little further. Yeah, a lot of jet boats not many sailboats out there. So they've been hauling sailboats this week. I see 3 sailboats. This road is a little bumpy. It's been repaved a number of times, but where there are storm drain gratings, they didn't move the gratings, they just paved around them. So they now represent about a 5 to 6 inch drop. Okay, we're going to turn around here at the Manset Town Dock, and we'll go back and I'll show you this other home, which, you know, may or may not be affordable. Before we do that though, we'll just take a look at some of the boats out here in the Hinckley Company mooring field. A whole bunch of Hinckley jet boats, probably, well, 15 of them anyway, all waiting to be hauled out. I'm sure they're letting the jet boats go till later, because those jet boats are very shallow draft. They just ride right on top of the water, and they ride through storms very easily. Anyway, let's go back past this house that is for sale. It's been for sale for quite a while, so you might be able to get them down on the price a little. I think it's been for sale for the better part of a year. As we drive up here, this is Peter Trout's restaurant, which is open. One of the few places that's still open. Okay. Continue up here. It is drizzling a little bit, which makes it kind of miserable outside. Alrighty. Alright. Now, right here is a home that is for sale. They don't have a sign in front of it, but it is still on the real estate listings. I think they're asking about $4.5 million for it. It is right on the water, as you can see, and out the window there, and it has its own dock. So it's a nice house. It's pretty old. Matter of fact, I think it's the oldest house in this stretch right here along the water on Shore Road. And not many boats left in there. Okay, so that's some homes for sale here in Bass Harbor and Southwest Harbor. There are quite a few additional homes for sale over on the other side of the harbor here in Southwest Harbor. A couple out Clark Point Road, and some other homes inland, and there are even some lots. There's one lot for $750, I think, and a bunch of homes that are well over $1 million. So there's not a lot for sale here that is what I would call affordable. But as we drive back into Southwest Harbor, Maine proper. We've been in Southwest Harbor ever since we passed Ship Harbor in Acadia National Park. That's where the boundary between Southwest Harbor and Tremont is located. So we've been in Southwest Harbor for about 2.5–3 miles now. And as we come down here, we'll see some other things. Yeah, they're blocking traffic, so I am not going to drive into Southwest Harbor. I'm going to try to go the other way. They're backed up pretty good there. They've been working on the road for the last year and a bit, and looks like, I don't know when they're going to finish. They're supposed to finish this fall, but I don't know if they're going to manage, because the big thing they have left to do is repave about ½ mile of the road. Okay, we're driving out of Southwest Harbor now over toward Tremont. And as you can see, we're in the sort of residential business area. some small businesses here. And there are houses set back a little bit from the road on the left. Not really anything on the right, because this, on the right, the land backs up onto the Bass Harbor Salt Marsh, and it's almost all in Acadia National Park. So, that's one of the things about living on Mount Desert Island, is that there is a lot of land that's undeveloped, but it's in Acadia National Park. The park owns about 60% of the land on the island. So you can be in Acadia National Park and not even know it. Like, there is a home on the right here, back in the woods, but all around it, on both sides, is the national park. Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute, and then we'll continue on into Tremont and Bass Harbor. Okay, we're headed toward the boundary between Southwest Harbor and Tremont, just up here a little bit. And take a look at a few things as we go. Basically, the boundary is up here at a spot where the road crosses an arm of the Bass Harbor Salt Marsh, which is right here. And right there is the boundary, Tremont. We are in Tremont now. And we come into town proper. And we'll look around a little bit. This is a sort of business district here. There's a garage on the left. Does auto repairs. And I don't know if Hanson's Marine and Sporting Supplies is open. This is a convenience store and gas station. That's Hanson's Lobster Pound there. It's closed for the season. All of the lobster pounds and lobster takeout places are now closed for the season. As we come through town here. And as you can see, it's pretty dreary today with the overcast and drizzle. The last time I drove this route with you guys, it was bright sun and really looked a lot different. As we go through here, not much in the way of homes for sale. There are two for sale somewhere here, but I think they're off on the left side of the road, up the hill a bit, in on private roads. Any of the signs with a blue sign, roads with a blue sign, is a private road. And so if you want to go up one of those, well, you're going onto private property. Okay, come right down to the harbor here. Although the tide is out right now, so we are currently just a couple feet from the edge of the harbor, but as you can see over here, it's just mud. So, okay, one of the homes that's for sale is up there on that little private road. I do not know how far up the road that house is, but I think that one was listed at about $1.25 million. So homes here are very expensive because this is part of the island where you can still come in here, buy a home, and set it up as a weekly rental. And I mean, there are several weekly rentals on my road that are quite lucrative, There's one 2-bedroom single bath home. Has a big front yard, but on my road that rents out for about $2,000 a week and is generally booked for pretty much solid for about 6 months. So 24 weeks. And that brings in a lot more than that same house would if it was in the long-term rental market, because long-term rentals here are impacted by how much people make from their jobs. And most of the employment on the island that is year-round doesn't pay particularly well. So about the upper limit for affordable rent would be about $2,000 a month, and a 2-bedroom single bath home certainly wouldn't rent for that on a long-term basis. And that's caused a lot of problems here, in that moving here is for a job, since there are basically no long-term rentals, it means that you have to be able to buy a house that's probably going to set you back the better part of, if not more than, $1 million. I mean, I just looked at Redfin yesterday, and they say my house is currently worth $940,000, which is insane. So my house is nothing fancy, 4-bedroom, 3-bath on a 1¼ acres, but not what I would call a fancy house. I have a view of the woods, and my neighbor is Acadia National Park. So okay, let's go down. This is the road I live on, so let's go down here and I'll show you a rental house, the one I mentioned, that is currently renting for about $2,000 a week. And it might be more in the summer, and it is generally fully booked for about 6 months of the year. And this is not a particularly big house. It's 1,000 square foot bungalow, if that. Okay, here we go. Now this is a house that you could rent in the summer for about $2,000 a week. Nothing fancy. What it has going for it is that the other side of the road we're on is Acadia National Park, and it's about a 10-minute walk to the Bass Harbor Head Lighthouse and other things. Both of these homes over here are rentals in the weekly rental market. And up this driveway, there are 3 more weekly rentals. Can't see them from here though. And around the corner, there's a new house being built specifically for the weekly rental market. It's a pretty nice house, and it's probably going to rent for $3,500 to $4,000 a week. Okay, so that's my little tour around the area here on the 30th of October 2024 on a dreary afternoon with a little bit of drizzle, which finally seems to have stopped. So I'm going to call it a day, and I hope you found this quick look at some of the housing here in this part of Mount Desert Island, and my thoughts about the cost of housing here. So thanks for watching.